Partnered by Times Influence. Kohler has organized the Kohler Bold Art powered by Pecha Kucha for almost 6 years now, giving a stage to women from the arts, architecture and design community to share their views on the theme "The Goddess is in the Details." For the second time, an event was organized for women, by women, and was executed by an all-women's team. We bring you the highlights from the event.
Good evening, ladies. I have to admit, it's not often that I get to open an evening like this with only women in the audience. So welcome to International Women's Day, a day dedicated to us. Let's hear a cheer. At Kohler Bold Art, we took this a step further and decided to give 7 super talented women professionals a chance to look at the goddess in the details in true Pecha Kucha style. Many of you already know that we've been in India for more than a decade, and in keeping with Kohler's affinity for the arts, tonight we celebrate design and host a dialogue between you and our 7 super talented women. I think we should set the ball rolling now, and I'd like to invite Laura Kohler, Senior Vice President, overseeing the company's worldwide human resources organization and leading Kohler's stewardship, innovation for good and sustainability programs, to take a spin at this.
Good evening. I am so pleased to be here, and I want to say a shout out to our female crew, the camera women, the tech people, woohoo! And the Kohler team that put this all together. So I'm thrilled to be here. As designers and architects, I know many of you have worked with Kohler products, but you just may not know the story behind Kohler Company. Kohler Company was founded in 1873 by my great-grandfather, John Michael Kohler. Today, we are 38,000 people and 50 locations around the world where we manufacture product. This past year, I celebrated my 25th anniversary at Kohler Company, and I was surprised by an absolutely beautiful candelabro that was made for me by a designer in Kohler and made in our foundry. It reminded me that I needed to reflect on my career and share my story with all of you. When I was just 16 years old, I had a life-changing experience. I went on an Outward Bound course. I was the only female with a crew of men. That Outward Bound adventure pushed me beyond what I thought I could do. It really helped me shape out of my comfort zone. It shaped my leadership, it shaped my grit, and it shaped teamwork. And today, at that point in time, I went to Duke University, studied theater and political science, and after college, I moved to Chicago and started A Dress Unknown, a theater company of homeless, an improv company where they told their stories. It was picked up by American television. After that, I did end up at Kohler, and I was able to join a really great company and a team where I worked in communications, I worked in the arts, I worked in HR and social impact. And I joined my father, my brother, my sister, and we're really proud of leading one of the largest privately held companies in the United States. But at Kohler Company, we believe that we need to put our best assets to pursue the challenges that we're really good at, and that's water and sanitation. So we want to bring safe water and sanitation to as many parts of the world as possible. And we're all counting on you. Thank you.
Wow. Laura seriously set the bar quite high. Thank you, Laura. You also saw how she adapted to the format and kept it simple, fun, and short. So let's begin with our panel. and invite Sonali Bhagwati, the co-founder of Spazio Design.
Thank you, Rini. Thank you, Kohler, for having me here, and thank you, everyone, for being here for me today. Before we start, I want to dedicate what I'm going to say today to my mother, who at the age of 91 started a new business, and she is really making a big success of it. And I would say this proves there is no bar to anything that you want to do. There age is no bar. It's just business bar. Design and detail are part and parcel of each other. This aspect of design and detail is applicable to all disciplines, whether it is fashion design or graphic design, product design, interior design, architecture, and last but not the least, urban design. And that's what I'm going to talk about today, because urban design is a crying need that we're facing today. Our cities are today faced with a sort of a binary, I would call it, where we have a very strong private domain and a very strong public domain, and the twain never meet, because the private domain is beautifully designed, it's controlled, and the public domain is like a mess. Now, when we take our public domain, and let's take the heritage aspect of it, let's take this part of Shahjahanabad, Old Delhi. We have numerous problems. We have overhead services, we have uncontrolled encroachments, we have various problems. And when we apply a little bit of design and a little bit of detail to it, the same place with a little intervention can really be transformed into a wonderful experience with some signage, some street furniture, a little bit of detailing about the way of street is, the sections are worked out, and it can really make a huge quantum shift in the experience of a pedestrian. And this is something which I think we must all carry forward to all our cities. That's my dream, and this is what I hope to do for my city at least. Thank you.
Thank you, Sonali. Very strong designs, lots of twerks, and she's got the job done. We now have Aditi Rao Haidari. I'm sure you're as interested as I am to know what Aditi thinks of goddesses and such details. Aditi.
This is a very special photograph. I think a mother is everything to a child, and I think that nurture and that love actually empowers you, and it makes you feel fearless, and a lot of who you are begins with a mother. At least for me, it's been like that. I think I'm very, very close to my mother, and she's very special to me. This one proves that I'm always a drama queen. I used to literally tell all my aunts, let's play photo. Another person who I was very close to, and I was very lucky to have been brought up by some amazing women, is my grandmother, who taught me to cycle, forced me to play in the mud wearing shorts when actually I wanted to wear beautiful salwar kameezes and make my hair and put pins and baubles in my hair. But she would drag me to the mud in a pair of shorts. And that little boy is me with my father. So my mother is somebody I'm very, 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 very close to, of course. And I grew up to the sounds of the Tanpura. And I really miss that now because I live in Mumbai. But I feel like who I am is because of what she is. Another person who I think is very instrumental in my upbringing and my growing up and making me who I am is my teacher, Leela Sampson. I was so determined to learn dance that at age 4, I dragged my nanny every day to dance class till she relented and called my mother and said, okay, she's too tiny, but I will still take her. And I think my dancing through school and my undergrad made me, I think, very unself-conscious. I remember my teacher, Leela Sampson, putting me 2 inches away from her nose and making me do expression pieces. This is my team. I am nothing without this team. They allow me to be a 5-year-old dreamy child. They allow me to be who I am. The day that I discovered that the day you are comfortable with your flaws and your strengths, the day that you are happy being yourself is when you realize that you are unique and you shine because you are unique and you are you, and no one can take that away from you, and that is your greatest strength.
Thank you.
Bravo, Aditi. Bravo. So we move on now to Varuna Arvind, a partner with her husband at Arvind Varuna Associates.
I would like to illustrate today's topic with a series of stunning Indian works of art that brings about the feminine force, physical and non-physical. The rock art petroglyph conveys the power of detail. Female forms in temple sculpture could represent a deity, a queen, a powerful consort, or a handmaiden. In this exquisite miniature, motifs of household utensils, clothing, and ornaments find their way with a painstaking eye to detail, conveying the role of a woman in that time. This Kangra painting shows the woman depicted as an object perceived by her male consort, which represents patriarchal hierarchies. Nasreen Mohammadi's work demonstrates the far reaches of minimalist practices, creating delicate abstract drawings. This thus breaks convention. There is God. God is a she. She is the detail. She sees the micro and the macro. She unifies, she harmonizes, and she beautifies existence. Thank you.
Up next, we have an award-winning interior designer, Shabnam Gupta.
To begin with, I'd like to start at the very beginning of time. Adam and Eve, with Eve being the temptress, the mother of humanity, started the monthly cycles for all of us, highlighting that women are a far superior sex with the ability to procreate. While we're at the beginning, let's look at the Hindu mythology. The goddesses were pretty responsible for maintaining the balance of the universe. Vishnu and Brahma kind of chilling, and Lord Shiva meditating in the mountains, with the women looking after the finer details. They're pretty much in control. In this room today, I am proud to say that we all come from different cultures. Our roots make us who we are. In our daily lives, we see women from all walks of life painting the world with their bold lipsticks, as long as we color our lives in our chosen shades. Back from the time with the Lady Justice balancing the tarazu in blindfold, the blindfold so she is not partial to the good-looking men in the court, and the tarazu for the balance in multitasking, which we all do on a daily basis. The countless research by Harvard graduates and science keeps stating that women are better at multitasking. My day begins with my cup of tea, sitting in my corner chair, with my mind forming the map for the day. Those 30 minutes are where I foresee and crack the details of the day. Those 30 minutes encapsulate the madness of my world with aligning the house help, drivers, dog walkers, school assignments, laundry, kids, clients, husbands who don't completely grow up ever, work, and clients who like to behave like kids. In my opinion, this is the goddess of the details, to be able to create our own path, whether as a working woman or as a homemaker. I believe we all truly do our bit in our own ways. As I conclude, I would like to highlight the very important detail that we often tend to neglect: the ability to empower. We forget how much we can inspire. So raise a glass at each other's success, clap the loudest when one of us stands up on the stage, and dance together to celebrate the goddesses within us. Thank you.
Thank you, Shabnam, for holding up all the sky. We now move on to Chitra Vishwanath.
a home which two friends built, one retired from Pollution Control Board and a professor from Stockholm Environmental Institute. Jan Olof's mission was to build 3 homes in different parts of the world which close the loop of the waste and lead it to food. So this is in Bangalore, and this is a house, as most biome homes are. It has a basement, is built with earth, and as seen in the blue highlight areas are the water and waste spaces through in this home, and they are nutrition producing factories. So the concept of closing the loop is in the left cartoon, which tells you, like, you produce waste and it becomes food, which is the right way. You can't just eat food and just only put to the waste. And the second cartoon is about water of all kinds, rainwater, grey water, black water. So the design in this house began from the rear. We collect super clean rainwater from a super clean terrace and connect it to the kitchen and use it for drinking and cooking, therefore securing your drinking, cooking water. Moving on to rainwater from other terraces and directing them to storages and towards recharge. So this is securing water not just for you now, but also for the future generation. And that's what we feel in biome should be ecological architecture as future. Thank you.
So there's hope for not just Bangalore, for all of us, when you've got people like Chitra working through her expertise. So thank you very much, Chitra. Ladies, our final superstar is Supraja Rao, Principal Designer and Creative Head at Design House.
Goddess is in detail, goddess is in you. Bhagwan to aapke andar hota hai. So why not that attitude? The Germans originated the birthday celebration. It was called Kinderfest back in 1700s. And they cut a cake. Actually, it started with a multi-layer torte, and they put many candles, one for each year, to signify upcoming years. Remind me, no Kinderfest day for me today. And why were the cakes round? A party isn't just a party without a cake. Really? Ever wonder why? It is believed that the first birthday cake was made in Germany in the Middle Ages. Cakes were originally coarse, just bread-like product, and later become much sweeter version. Today, cakes are cut to celebrate most occasions fondly all over the world, and cake art has also got famous. And cakes are round, and you could become like this. That's me, yeah. Potential, but yeah, I'd like to believe I'd like to stick there. People place candles on birthdays, make a silent wish, and you're supposed to blow it at one go, and then your wish will come true. I'm going to try. So this is, the Guinness Book of World Record recognizes this as the most recognizable song in English, translated over 24 languages. India is undoubtedly pioneers of celebrations, all the different Janmashtamis which are celebrated. And like the West, we light a lamp reminding the child of the true path to follow and prayers of enlightenment. Birthdays are celebrated as per Tithi on the original day, auspicious time, not as per the English calendar. Aarti, and of course, when you've turned 1 year old, you're mercilessly shaved off your hair. That's because if you're carrying anything from the past life, you're supposed to have got rid of that. And so, if you've enjoyed the Gyan and know what birthdays are, I'm glad to be a woman, glad to be born on this day, and I'm even gladder that I'm today with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you all for spending this special day with us. And I speak on behalf of the entire Kohler team when I say that we're honored to have each of you here with us tonight. So thank you so much for joining us.
Kohler Bold Art is a unique platform to share, discuss and debate ideas that inform and engage the world around us. The event not only gave a platform to celebrate International Women's Day with some of the most creative women in Indian architecture, performing arts and design, but also inspired 1,000 more to carve out their own path to success.
Partnered by Times Influence.